to it. The summer that LeBron comes was one of the most bizarre times I've ever covered in sports. That summer where they try to trade for Anthony Davis during the year. It doesn't happen. So now Jim and Mitch Kupchak have been fired. They've been replaced by Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka. Magic Johnson was trying to trade for Anthony Davis all year. It creates a really bad scene with the locker room because all these guys think they're getting traded all year. The team doesn't do well. LeBron's hurt. It doesn't actually happen that they get the trade done. And then Magic, on the last game of the season, holds an abrupt press conference and just says, I quit. Like, I'm not going to do this anymore. Then, like a week later, he goes on First Take and says Rob Pelinka's a backstabber. And this is after, they had already kind of tried to mitigate the situation, but he did it anyway. And so I think at that point, this is a guy, Magic Johnson, who Jeannie Buss has also known since she was 19, 20 years old, who her father regarded as like a brother, like another member of the family who's just now thoroughly let her down and done it in the most embarrassing public way possible. And so I think at that point, like, you close ranks. I mean, I agree with you, like, you close ranks, but I don't think it's just because her brothers tried to do this. I think Jeannie had always kind of handled her older two brothers. I think they were not really as much of a threat other than being able to pull what they tried to pull, and then it didn't work. But at that point, when Magic lets them down, it was, I'll never forget that press conference. Frank Vogel gets hired as the head coach of the Lakers.
Question is about
Every single question is to Rob Pelinka about Magic, who had just gone on First Take earlier that morning and just trashed Rob and all these things. Like, he said he wasn't going to do it at a dinner they had, and then he just did it anyway. And it was like, whoa. Before Frank Vogel, I think somebody finally asked him a question. How do you think, But I will say, standing in the back of that press conference with a neon pink hat was LeBron James. Like a neon pink hat, like, look at me, I'm here, I'm supporting these, this organization that I've just now made my, partnership with. And that was, I thought, a very strong statement by LeBron. And then a few weeks later, they trade for Anthony Davis. So, okay, fast forward.
So let's talk about players. First of all, I couldn't imagine being at the Bus Shabbat dinner that week. That must have been crazy.
Some of the stuff in the book about LeBron that caught my eye. I was like, whoa.
So,
The Westbrook one that leaked the other day.
That's right. So let's talk about that.
What flying leaked? In separate to game. That was good. Okay. The one that I don't know if you've released this excerpt yet. There was something about he didn't want the Cavs to trade Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
And then I guess he was on the phone with Kobe Altman, the GM there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna that.
Is that gonna be released?
No, the Athletic report that originally used that.
Oh, okay.
That is not. I will give.
Okay.
I will give props.
I hadn't read that. I was like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, he tried talking them out of trading. Yeah, he tried talking them out of trading Kyrie Irving, the Cavs that year.
So LeBron, Magic, Kobe. That's the trinity, at least in my lifetime, in our lifetime. What's the difference between them? What has LeBron done? Yeah, we
could write a book on the difference between those three.
But I was really moved, at least I think everybody has one of those, where were you when, especially when Kobe was killed. I was at a birthday party for my kid, and all the people were like, what? And that can't be true. And this team's coming from Philadelphia. First, let's start with LeBron. Like, who is LeBron, and what did you learn from your research about who this man is that is now sort of king of our city?
It's funny. So I've been trying to come up with a good book tour answer for this, and where I've landed is,
this is your first stop, right?
Right. But
Sinai Temple, you say?
Even so, I'm confused by LeBron. He's hard to I find him hard to summarize in one or two words. It just. I've been thinking about a lot about this with the, and this is in the book, but with the Hennessy ad, right, that happened recently.
Gosh.
So I was thinking a lot.
You guys aware of this ad?
So where he puts this tweet out for this ad. So, and I was thinking a lot about this because I don't care, not that I care about anything, but a player cashing out is, God bless. I don't, that's fine. But for the guy whose legacy is going to be about player empowerment and the players are in control. And me and my guys, not only players, but we operate our own agency. We start Clutch. We start our own companies. We do uninterrupted entertainment. We're the bosses. We're the power. We're gonna dip our toes in our toes in the political waters at times. He's pulled back a little bit on that, but I put a lot of that stuff in the book. All these schools And it's a weird line to draw, the tweet. But the teaser tweet was what did it to me. And it's a weird line. But like, you're going to leverage for that guy to, at this point, later in his life, leverage his ability to capture attention and the zeitgeist and fame for the purpose of helping a company he doesn't own or invest. I mean, maybe he owns, but like not his own company, sell some booze was strange to me. And almost like the contrary to usually evolutions, guys do that when they're 25, and then when they're 40, you start kind of, I'm going to do this. I'm more serious about these kind of things. This seems like a reversal of where he's been. So the answer, he's all over the place. He's really hard for me to summarize. I know it's not a great answer, but just we have some amazing things, and like I wanted to make sure in the book the stuff around 2020, he made real impact, like real on the ground impact, and I think that's what him and his group are great at. Is when we want to do something, we know what we don't know. This is what they say, and we're going to find the experts to execute this. And that is their superpower. Him, all of them, like Rich Paul, all of them. They know what they want to do, and they bring in experts and they execute. But then there's things he does, and it's just weird. I know it's just weird. So I don't know. That's kind of how I landed on it.
The way I can explain that is basically, I think that we're catching LeBron at later in his career. Like, he peaked, right? Like, did he peak in Miami, or did he peak when he won the title in Cleveland? We can debate that. As an athlete, probably in Miami, he was like unbelievable. Like, just there's never, if you want to have the greatest of all time debate with him and Michael Jordan, put him in those Miami years, or put him in that last year with Cleveland was, I don't think I've ever seen an athlete have a year like that. He played all 82 games. He played every single playoff game. He played 40-something minutes a night. And I respected the hell out of it, because I was like, I think this guy knows he's leaving Cleveland and he's going to give every last drop of sweat and blood to that city. Like, I was like, wow, he really left it all on the court there. And that was the high point. And this is just the last part. Like, this is just what he did afterwards. It's like the weird the weird epilogue, like this thing in LA. Like, he did win a championship in LA. He did. It was a bubble championship, but I think it was harder to win the bubble championship than it was than any other championship, because all those guys, like, I don't know how they did it. Like, they spent 3 months living in a hotel with they finally got to see their family like the last few weeks or something, but the mental toughness it took to undergo what they put themselves through in the bubble, I think was harder than anything. Like, and I wrote it at the time, like, the team that was going to win the championship in 2020 was the team that survived the conditions better. We all look at it like in 2025 going like, oh, like that period, that year feels really long ago because our lives are somewhat back to normal. But I think it's not that long ago. We also do remember what it was like to live with a mask on and to test yourself 3 times a day and make sure nothing, right? I had to put a mask on the other day, and I was like, oh God, this is so uncomfortable. Remember when I just lived in this? Like, it was just, so, but like I was at home with my family. I didn't have to go on the road like that and to be gone for months. So I give that guy a lot of credit for what he's done. Mm-hmm. But I just think that when he left Cleveland, there wasn't some grand narrative that he had left to write. He just picked a glamour franchise. He picked a marquee franchise, and he picked our city because he had ambitions outside of basketball.
I love this too, because I don't think, like, if you ask why he chose the Lakers, you get 14 different answers. Like, it's never really, it's his wife wanted to move. Wasn't a good thing.
Yeah, but I don't think there was a better choice. I think he was. I think Cleveland had that team had probably done all it can do. They'd already traded Kyrie. That team, he was flat out carrying that team. Could they've continued to win the East? Maybe, but probably not. Like. And I think that he was like, they traded all the draft. Like, when you have LeBron, you can sort of trade away all your assets to keep giving him chances to win. And so I think they'd kind of gone through all their assets. Like, that team was over. And so, okay, where is he going to go? Is he going to go back to Miami? That would have made sense. Is he going to go to LA? Is he going to go to New York? But you can't just like all of a sudden go to Orlando if you're LeBron James. Like, you can't go to like Indiana. You got to go to a big glamour franchise. Like, he wears a Yankees cap. He wears a Cowboys cap. Like, there's only like a few of these franchises in all of sports. And like, he's the biggest brand in basketball, and so are the Lakers. And so it was just it was like a I don't know, you want to call it a merger and an acquisition, like it was a brand deal. That's the best way to put it, I think.
One last question before we open it up. Yeah. This is just a minutia of book.
You want me to answer the like how are Magic, Kobe, and LeBron?
Well, I have I'll ask a more pointed question based on something you talked about in the book. I thought was fascinating when they played under Coach K, not the Dream Team, but the Olympics, and
the Redeem Team. Yeah.
When Kobe and LeBron actually had to play together, and those personalities sort of had a match. Talk a little bit about that and what we saw them sort of realizing they can actually complement each other in life and not be, rivals.
They were polar opposites, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like in every way, and I did this a little bit, but just Kobe, like let's going to summarize it. Kobe wouldn't be friends with stars on other teams. LeBron obviously is. Kobe, the idea of he wasn't focused on. Everything was about basketball. After playing career shifted, but it was all about basketball. LeBron, obviously, the main thing is a phrase he loves, but he obviously always had interest and want to do things outside. Even the way they approached the game, like Kobe, last shot is going to shoot over 4 people. LeBron, I remember so many first take segments of, should LeBron have passed the open man with them the last shot, right? Like even that. And Kobe, it was just so opposite. Even within Nike, they hung out with different people, and I don't think Kobe fully understood it. And it's actually interesting because in LA, I mean, you guys will know this better than me, but I think then you have Lakers fans start taking up the baton of we're going to defend Kobe, and as LeBron and Kobe are pitted against each other a little bit in terms of whose league is it, we're going to take up the baton of Kobe, and therefore the way Kobe acts and plays, that's what we're standing up for, that's what we're defending. And I do think that impacted the reception that LeBron received and has gotten since being here. You're arguing, I'm trying to think of what the metaphor, the comparison, but you're arguing for something. This is actually the way. Oh, wait, now I have to flip a little bit and go that way. So they were opposites. Right, so the Redeem Team, someone told, I think it was Tayshaun Prince maybe told me the story. I'm forgetting who. They're practicing, and Kobe, the whole team's going out to practice, and LeBron sees Kobe coming out of the hotel gym, basically already finished his morning workout. And LeBron pulls him aside at some point and says, we need you to work out with us. We're a team here. And it's interesting. I mean, but the funny part about that is all true. LeBron's a leader. But then when the games, that final game, it's one of my favorite random basketball games to just watch in memory. And I remember staying up to watch. It was up at 4 a.m. The gold medal game against Spain. And if you want to see the definition of the alpha athlete, it's Kobe in that last. Was it quarters? I guess it's quarters, right? Kobe in that last quarter just taking over that game in a way where everyone's deferring to him, even with LeBron and all these guys. It's no, it's still Kobe's team. So I don't know, it's just the whole dynamic's fascinating.
I think that part of the story at the end, you said that what Kobe said to LeBron, well, then get here at 7:30 in the morning, and then we'll practice together.
It's these things. It's just, it's interesting when you merge the personalities.